Hello guys, and welcome to a new Steel Division video today by me, Vulcan. Today I have for you game 2 of the best of 3 between Fussel and Desert Wolves. This is the Great Paradox Tourney round 1. Today we're going to be seeing Fussel once again on the Allied side with the 1st SSB and Desert Wolves on the Axis side with the 9th Panzer. We are on Bois de Limors, and immediately we can imagine that the 1st SSB are going to be very, very good on this map. Mainly due to, of course, the big forest at the bottom. Definitely helps out a lot. However, if Desert Wolves plays this right and sort of exploits the Panzer II looks, Panzer II combo, then we could definitely see a big sort of salient around the top side. Like if the Panzer IIs kind of just push through these tree lines, you can make a lot of ground. Like try and come through this area just above where the stream ends and come through maybe the top side of the forest and over this bridge. You could definitely break through very much so. Like the commando tank busters are really unreliable with their Piats. So if Fussel is trying to rely on those, it will maybe bite him quite badly when the Panzer II looks arrives and just annihilates them once they reveal their position. So I would like to see that come out of Desert Wolves. I don't want him to invest too many infantry into this forest because it's kind of a waste of time, especially when you are completely outmatched on the infantry front. Things like Panzer Grenadiers just won't work out very well in these forests, although it looks like he's going to be starting off the game with Sturm Pioneers, which is a very interesting choice indeed. Some Sturm Pioneers with the command infantry there, another Sturm Pioneer with a recon squad in the bottom side. Very expensive deployment, honestly, with the half tracks at the start. Not too much investment in the Panzer II looks or the infantry on the top side. So that might be where he goes wrong, because yeah, I think you want to definitely have more tanks up here with the 9th Panzer, because quite literally Fussel will have nothing to counter that if he pushes through really, really hard on the top side. Yes, he might lose the bottom side, but you've got to turn this map on its side. That's the only way you're going to win against a strong infantry deck on this map. And it looks like Fussel might have manipulated the pick and ban in terms of the divisions and map in order to gain this favorability. But either way, Humber Mark III going to be starting up on the top side with Willys MMG and the Commando Tank Busters. We've got the Command Infantry there and a Morris LRC. Now I don't see these particularly often, but it'll be interesting to see how well it does. On the bottom side, of course, the generic infantry combos, we're going to probably see Commando 6 squads, Commando Support squads, Commando Assault squads. We've got the Commando Tank Busters, of course, Command Infantry. And there's also a mortar in there as well, following up the rear. So already the +1 coming through for Fussel, as his vehicles are a lot quicker than Desert Wolves off the mark. And the Lux is actually travelling down into the forest as well. I don't know, I just feel like generally this is quite a big mistake. The Marder 3 up the top side is okay, but like in the last game where Desert Wolves, I felt like he realised the matchup between the 3rd Armoured and the 116th quite well. But with the 9th Panzer versus the 1st SSB, the Panzer II looks literally run all over the Commando Tank Busters. They really do. And so if you can make that happen, it would most certainly end in your favour. So it looks like we're going triple Commando Assault squad. There is a Commando 6 squad, Commando Support, Commando Leader, the Commando Tank Busters, 2 squads of Commando Tank Busters with a Commando Mortar. Okay. It's all very concentrated on the top side here. I feel like the Sturm Pioneers don't really stand a chance, especially if they bump into Commando Assaults with their grenades. The grenades will kill off Sturm Pioneers before the infantry can do anything, and that's something that we experienced in the last game. Sturm Pioneers just aren't quite what they used to be due to the flamethrower nerf. So literally 1 unit of Panzergren on the top side, defending against currently Recon, Commando Leader, Commando Tank Busters, and the Humber Mark III. This Humber Mark III honestly has a chance to kill the Marder 3. Also the Morris LRC does as well. Commando 6 squad just hovering around in the mid, just covering this stream here, which is good. This is a really good placement actually from the Commando 6 squad, because any infantry that tries to cross here will get pinned down by it. Mortar is going to be providing the smoke here. Commando tank busters are going to get range onto the 251-1. And both missing. Not uncommon for that to happen. Commando assaults, however, are going to be able to flood across towards the Panzergrenführer and the Sturm Pioneers. Panzer II looks going to be rushing on round here. Wow, those infantry went down very quickly. Commando support also going to probably be melted pretty fast, although Commando tank busters taking on the Sturm Pioneers very well. The reload time taking its sweet time. The Commando tank busters actually won against the Sturm Pioneers on their own, which isn't something you see very often, and there goes the Sturm Pioneers. Yeah, Sturm Pioneers just aren't going to really match up very well. Yes, maybe send some looks here to sort of cover the crossings, but you really want to just be presenting loads of Panzer II looks and Panzer II tanks at this SSB at the start of the game. Yes, they have the Sherman 2s, but that's a lot of investment, and if they invest in Sherman 2s instead of infantry, then that's good for you, because that allows you to sort of take back some of the ground that would otherwise be lost to the elite infantry heading away. We see the Commando 6 squads and the Commando assaults breaking through as is expected. Sherman 2 is arriving, probably going to end up killing off some of these half tracks. However, needs to be careful that the Sherman 2 doesn't get too close to a Lux, because the rate of fire of a Lux does mean that the Sherman 2 could get penetrated quite easily after a short amount of time. Right, Panzer Grenadiers are being pushed upon by the Commando tank busters. Once they reveal their position, this Willys MMG will actually be able to open up, I think. Watch this engagement occur. Panzer Grens are going to be engaging the tank busters at the 100 meter range, which is actually pretty decent for the Commando tank busters, but here we just have the Willys MMG starting to do some damage to the Panzer Grens before the Panzer Grens hide themselves once again. Commando tank busters were brought in on the bottom side. Looks like they managed to take out one of the half tracks. Will they be able to take out a second? Bailed it out. Nice. Okay, so that's going to stop the salient on the bottom side that was occurring. Desert Wolves had the right idea there, I feel, but just didn't make it pay off. If he'd kept the half tracks a little bit further away from any cover, then that might not have happened, but still. Smoke coming in here to smoke off the Sherman 2, and that's going to stop it coming through there and taking out the Panzer II Lux. More Sturm Pioneers are arriving, but again, it's not going to work out. Commando Assault's going to easily trade with Sturm Pioneers. That's 18 HE on target versus the Sturm Pioneer. And the Commando Assaults just have like such better rate of fire, and even if they don't, they have that grenade which just kills off the squad and trades every time. The thing's not looking good for Desert Wolves at the moment. The +1 for Fussel. Fussel's trying to push through in the mid with the Commando 6 squads. That could be a little bit of a mistake. He doesn't want to get it pinned down by the 251, especially if there's not any command there, because that might open a massive salient in the middle of the map. So Fussel being a little over aggressive with one squad in the mid, I don't like that at all. I feel like he should keep it in the orchard, just keep it safe, out of line of sight of that half track, and then just play around Desert Wolves pushing in his Panzergrens there. Sturm Pioneers now engaging Commando tank busters there, are almost going to pin down the Commando assaults, but nope, the grenade's going to do the job as expected. Like, even with these Commando assaults being pinned down, the Commando assaults will always like trade favorably. Always. Any grenade infantry like that has got to be traded with other grenade infantry or just ignored. Like, that is basically the way around it. This mortar, however, doing quite a lot of damage, pinning down both these Commando assaults. I'm surprised not to see the Panzergrenführer keep going forwards. It looks like they're actually sending those back to try and find this squad, but that's probably a massive mistake, because the Commando 6 will just pick off those Panzergrenführer very, very easily. And that's going to basically free the Commando assaults, which are very exposed at the moment without their Commando leader. And these Commando assaults should be 3-star with the Commander leader nearby, but the Commander leader hasn't kept up with them. So that could have been a nice opportunity there for Desert Wolves to make 2 Commando assault squads surrender and trade those Sturm Pioneers 1-for-1, but didn't work out this time around. But now we see Commando Fusilier Marines moving in on the top side. There's still only one unit of Panzergrens here holding this off. Where is the Panzer II on the top side? Like, where is it? Like a Panzer II here. There we go. Panzer IIs here would do the job. Like, they would. They would just easily break through. The SSB doesn't have any AT guns in Phase A. So playing around the Panzer IIs is really hard for the SSB. They have to rely on these Sherman IIs. And as soon as you know where these Sherman IIs are, you can exploit that so much. You just can. Commando 6 squad managing to pick off a few Panzergrens there. Commando tank busters are moving up to take out the 251 that Fussel spotted earlier. And now we're at the +2 for Fussel. Now I feel like this would have been the way to go earlier on. Like Panzer 1 sees, Panzer 2 looks. Like imagine just having like 3 or 4 Panzer 4 Cs in the bottom side here, just covering this area. Maybe with a couple of half-track infantry. And then just on the top side, a bunch of Panzer 2s just pushing through. Like that would have just made a massive difference there. Against the SSB, you need to be able to exploit those Panzer 2s. That's just it. And with those Panzergrens going down, that's even more ground being made for Fussel. 62% territory lead. And another Marder 3 being brought in on the bottom side. Not exactly the best place to be having a Marder 3, honestly. So this is a shame, because in the first game I felt like Desert Wolves really played it well. Like really, really well actually. And played around the 3rd Armoured 116th sort of matchup very well. But in this one, neglected the use of the Panzer 1Cs and the Panzer 2 looks, which could have made so much of a difference moving on in this game. So it looks like this Marder 3 has moved over to the top side to maybe kill off the Sherman 2. We might see it happen, but there the Commando Assault's going to be destroying one of the half tracks. Will the Sherman 2 get the shot off? That is the question. Wildcat going to be coming in with the bombs first. 2 5HE power bombs. Not going to force the Marder 3 to fall back, which is fine. However, the Commando Assault going to be lobbing its 20 HE power grenade again. And goodbye to the Commando Assault. Wildcat was being harassed by the Focke-Wulf 190 on the top side. What happened to all of those tanks? Wait, what? They just got all ambushed by the Commando tank busters. I feel like that was just like a massive miss micro from Desert Wolves, just completely neglected his tanks up there, and that mistake has cost him dearly. +3 now in favour of Fussel, and there isn't much chance of coming back in this one. Desert Wolves is going to surrender. Minor victory for Fussel. I feel like that's really sad, because Desert Wolves seems like he knows what he's doing, and in this case just didn't play around the division properly. Like Marders at the start of that game in Bois de Limors, where there's lots of tree lines, is unneeded. It's just not needed. The Panzer II looks are perfect for engaging those Sherman IIs in close quarters combat. They just really are. And they can just be deadly. So damn deadly. Panzer 1C is perfect for engaging infantry at that range. And it just kind of nullifies all of the elite infantry that the SSB have if you're just throwing loads of armor at them when they don't have any AT guns to kill them. Yes, they have Commando tank busters, and if used correctly, they can be very effective. But Commando tank busters miss a lot. So your tanks are much more likely to survive than Sturm Pioneers. That's just a good lesson to learn in this one. And hopefully, you guys have learned from this as well. The 9th Panzer should be able to wreck the SSB in Phase A. Pretty substantially, honestly. Unless the Sherman 2s do their job. But you can play around the Sherman 2s quite a lot on a map like this. So that was very just interesting to see. Yeah, plenty of kills for the Commando Assaults. That squad traded 3 for 1. This one traded 2 for 1. And this is what I was talking about with the grenade infantry. They always tend to trade 2 for 1, which is what makes them so damn cost efficient. It was Commando tank busters, 1 squad of Commando tank busters that took out 3 Panzers. Wow. Big mistake there as well. Such a shame. But either way, that is going to be Fussel moving on to round 2 of the Great Paradox Tourney. commiserations to Desert Wolves, who is going to be pushed out of the tournament after that quite disappointing game. But either way, tried hard and did well in the first game. He's got to be proud of that. That was a very, very nice game, the last one. But this one, maybe not so much. By the way, better luck next time, maybe, if there's another tournament. But for now, that's all. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.